Under the relentless sun, a cracked seabed stretches into the distance, a haunting testament to desolation. Scattered across the barren landscape, skeletal remains of massive container ships serve as silent monuments to a forgotten time. The air hangs heavy and still, amplifying the sense of isolation in this sun-scorched wasteland. The cracked earth bakes under the sun, its surface scarred by the passage of time and the harshness of the elements. The sun beats down relentlessly, casting long, stark shadows across the desolate expanse of the cracked seabed. Under the relentless sun, Elijah stumbles across the cracked seabed, a solitary figure against an unforgiving landscape. His weathered face, etched with hardship, reflects the desperation of a world stripped bare. A raw cough tears through the silence, a stark reminder of the toxic air he struggles to filter. Each step is a battle against the elements. His tattered filtrations suit a fragile shield against the desolation. He wipes sweat from his brow, a futile gesture against the oppressive heat, his eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of salvation. A radiant flashback illuminates Elijah's mind, revealing a younger, carefree version of himself. He is surrounded by his loving family, his wife, glowing with happiness, and their child, their laughter echoing through the scene. The beach teems with life, a symphony of color and sound, as waves crash against the shore in rhythmic harmony. Laughter dances in the air, a bittersweet reminder of a happiness now painfully distant. Under the harsh sun, Elijah searches the cracked seabed, a landscape of despair and desolation. He approaches the skeletal remains of a deep-sea creature, its form barely recognizable in the arid wasteland. Driven by hunger, Elijah picks at the brittle flesh, finding little sustenance in the dried carcass. He forces himself to eat the meager scraps, his face reflecting the grim reality of survival. The cracked seabed stretches endlessly, a silent testament to the harshness of Elijah's existence. Across the cracked seabed, a monstrous vortex of salt and toxic algae descends, consuming all in its path. Elijah desperately seeks refuge behind a decaying container ship, bracing against the impending onslaught. The rusted metal groans under the assault as the storm unleashes its fury, the air saturated with stinging dust. Amidst the howling winds, Elijah clings to the ship, a solitary figure against the apocalyptic storm. Inside the makeshift shelter, Elijah shrinks into himself as the container ship groans. The metal walls amplify the storm's relentless fury. He assesses his dwindling water with a careful, measured gaze. He holds up a faded photograph, his face shadowed by deep sorrow. The photograph, a ghost of happier days, intensifies the storm's echo. Under the scorching sun, days turn into a relentless journey for Elijah across the desolate, cracked seabed. The parched earth bakes under the sun's merciless glare as Elijah squints, his eyes struggling to focus. His vision blurs, playing tricks on him. Mirages of shimmering water and lush vegetation dance in the distance, taunting his thirst and despair. The cracked seabed stretches endlessly, a testament to his solitary struggle against the unforgiving landscape. The cracked seabed stretches endlessly, a desolate expanse under the fading evening light. A faint shimmer dances on the distant horizon. Hope flickers, a dangerous spark in this forsaken realm. The shimmer grows, beckoning like a mirage in the arid expanse. The figure remains transfixed, hope battling the harsh reality of the landscape. The shimmer intensifies. A promise or a cruel illusion? Elijah's weary figure trudges toward the oasis, a mirage of hope amidst desolation. The oasis reveals itself as a stagnant pool, its brackish water reflecting the harsh reality of survival. Jagged rocks and rusted metal frame the grim scene, whispers of a forgotten world. Other survivors emerge from the shadows, their eyes warily tracking Elijah's approach. Suspicion hangs heavy in the air as the survivors assess the newcomer, their expressions guarded. Elijah pauses, meeting their gazes, the unspoken question of trust echoing in the desolate expanse. At the oasis edge, a hardened woman appears, her scarred face a mask of suspicion. She steps directly into Elijah's path, her stance firm and unyielding. A crude weapon, forged from salvaged metal, gleams menacingly in her grip. Her voice, rough and challenging, cuts through the stillness. This ain't charity. Her eyes narrow, demanding an answer. What do you have to trade? The unspoken threat hangs heavy in the air, a silent challenge to Elijah's intentions. In the desolate oasis, Elijah extends a meager protein ration toward the weary woman. The woman eyes the ration cautiously, her voice raspy. That'll buy you a sip. A man nearby scowls, his eyes filled with resentment. We don't need another mouth to feed. The desert wind whispers through the oasis, carrying a silent plea for mercy and survival. Under the desolate moonlight, Elijah sits alone, a dark silhouette against the pale sands. He watches as desperation etches deep lines of distrust onto the faces of the others. The air crackles with unspoken tensions, a prelude to the storm about to break. Suddenly, a scuffle erupts near the precious water source, shattering the tense calm. Voices rise in anger, escalating into a full-blown fight, a brutal ballet of survival. The grim spectacle ends with a brutal display of violence, a dark reminder of their desperate plight. In the dim light of a modest living room, a younger Elijah stands, the air thick with unspoken words and simmering conflict. Elijah pleads with her, desperation lacing his voice. We need to leave. The drought is only going to get worse. His wife stands firm, clinging to denial. Don't be ridiculous, Elijah. It's just a dry spell. It'll pass. The weight of regret settles heavily. The memory fades, leaving only the echo of dry wind and a familiar ache. Under the first light of dawn, Elijah advances toward the oasis, a mirage of hope amidst the desolate expanse. He pauses at the edge, the promise of water tempered by an unspoken wariness. A woman emerges, her voice cutting through the morning stillness with a stark challenge. You want water? You work. Help us defend this place. Elijah's gaze hardens, the thirst in his eyes now matched by a steely resolve. The oasis, once a symbol of salvation, now demands a price of blood and sweat. Under the relentless sun, Elijah labors with the others, their movements a blend of desperation and hope. Each swing of the hammer, each placement of the barrier, echoes with unspoken stories of a world now lost. As the sun climbs higher, a fragile bond forms amidst shared memories of the world before. Tales of loss weave through the air, each word a thread in the tapestry of their shared survival. With each story shared, the oasis transforms into a sanctuary, fortified not just by wood and stone, but by the unyielding spirit of its people. Elijah stands at the edge of the oasis, his weathered face etched with a fragile hope. A temporary sanctuary, a chance to rebuild amidst the desolation. I know the oasis is temporary, but for now, it's a chance to rebuild, to survive. The future stretches out before him, an endless, barren expanse mirroring the dried-up ocean. The future remains uncertain, a vast, desolate expanse mirroring the dried-up ocean I now call home.